Okay, right, it's time to put on a couple of terrible bets for the UFC on tonight, UFC 296. I like to just put down a little bit of money. I like to keep the stakes low, I keep the odds high, I keep the bets terrible. That's how I do it. I do this just for fun because, I don't have enough money to be... I'm not Drake. I don't have like a couple of million to throw down on a bet. Especially, look, also, FYI, you guys realise... I see all these posts all the time. Oh, Drake has just put $1 million on like Covington, on Leon to knock out Covington. It's like, you understand that I think that Drake owns that betting company. He owns it. So he's the bookie and the bettor. All he's doing is advertising his betting company. That's all he's doing with those bets. He's not actually betting that money, so far as I'm aware. It seems like a scam to me, and it's working. So fair play to him. So my favourite one of the night has got to be my double. I've got a double on Shavkat Rakhmonov to get the knockout. Now, the reason I'm going for the knockout is because of my OCD. My OCD doesn't like the fact that he's 8 knockouts and 9 submissions. So I think that if he's got OCD, he's going to want to even that out, and he's going to try and knock Stephen Thompson out. So I'll put the knockout down for that one. I've also got Tony Ferguson to knock out Paddy Pimblett, just because Paddy Pimblett leaves his chin out all the time. And Tony Ferguson he is dangerous. I've seen stranger things happen than that. And you put those together, you are getting 30 to 1 on that. 30 to 1. Well, 29 to 1 plus 30. So that's worth £6. Easy. Then I've got a cheeky 5-fold, right? This one really is awful. It's not going to get anywhere near. I'm taking Casey O'Neill double chance to get the finish because I just feel like she is, when you look at the stats, she's way more active in every area. She shoots more takedowns, she strikes more, and she does get a lot of finishes. I think she's finished 5 of 9 of her wins. So she does get finishes. So for that reason, I just feel like the finish for Casey O'Neill is going to be there. Brian Kelleher, I'm taking to knock out Cody Garbrandt because that one is just betting on whose chin is going to hold up. And Kelleher hasn't been knocked out since 2018 when he fought John Lineker. Whereas, Cody Garbrandt got knocked out 3 times in a row and then got knocked out by Kai Kara-France when he went down a weight class. So you've got to think that maybe there's a chance that Kelleher's chin holds up and Cody's does not. Carol Rosa, I'm taking to beat Ariane Aldana just because, again, looking at the stats, I think she's more active, more effective in every area. I'm taking Ferguson to win by knockout. I explained earlier that I think that Paddy does leave his chin out there, and if they get into a war on the feet, Ferguson's got a good chance as any. And also, I've also added Shavkat Rakhmonov by knockout in that one. As I said, I think he wants to equal out his record it's currently 8 knockouts, 9 submissions. I think he wants to get it 9 and 9. At least that's what I'd want to do. So that's what I'm going with. That one is 1,332 to 1. And there's a reason for that, because it ain't coming off. But it's worth... What have I put on that one? £3? £2? £2? Something like that. £1.50, I think. Either way, doesn't matter. But by the end of the night, after all those fights, I'm going to have lost £1.50, basically. And then I'm going to do it's what I like to call my MMA scratch card, right? This is the whole card, win-loss. We're going to see, just roll the dice, see how it turns out. I'm taking Martin Bidet to beat Shamil Gaziev, Lucas Almeida to beat Andre Fili. I quite like that one as an underdog, just FYI. I think Almeida's a killer. Fili hasn't looked good lately. He didn't look good against Nathaniel Woods. Cody Durden to take Ulanbekov. Look, I don't think Ulanbekov is as scary as the name suggests. I like Durden as an underdog in that one. He's a beast. Alonzo Menifield's a big underdog against Justin Jacoby. Look, Jacoby gets into firefights. Get into a firefight with Alonzo Menifield. He has got sick power. Like, I've seen, like, that him as an underdog, that's a good bet. Casey O'Neill, I already explained, to beat Aaron Lipsky. I'm taking Brian Keller to beat Garbrandt, again, another underdog that I quite like. Rosa to beat Aldana, I like that as an underdog as well. Bryce Mitchell, favourite against Emmett, which I think is fair because I'm taking him. Ferguson, underdog against Pimblett, obviously, but I do quite like, but I just think that there's a universe where Tony wins that one. Rakhmonov to beat Thompson, no disrespect to Thompson, but I don't see a way that he wins that fight. Watch Thompson pull this off now. Look, I would love to see Stephen Thompson pull it off. I really would. I think Stephen Thompson, he's one of the good guys. He's one of the nicest guys in MMA. He's great to watch as well. He's really fun. But I just, Rakhmonov, I've had my eye on him for some time. You don't get to 17-0, 17 finishes by not being elite. He really is elite. I don't see an area where Thompson takes it. I really don't. Roy Val, I think, has the skill set to cause real problems for Pantoja. I think he might get the win there. And I'm also taking Colby Covington to beat Leon Edwards. I think it's going to be a bad night for the Brits. I just feel like Colby Covington, when you look at the amount of pressure that he brings, it's very different to Usman. Usman, you know, he carries a lot of power. He's got good takedowns and everything, but he doesn't bring the same pressure that Covington does. Covington gets 4 takedowns per 15 minutes on average. Most fighters have 1 or less. That's the significance of that stat. He's thrown like 2,600 punches and he doesn't land all of them. He lands about half, but he's constant pressure, constant volume. And Leon, he likes to set traps. He likes to think. He likes to set traps. But if you don't allow him to make time to read, in order to set those traps, you could probably, if you're constantly making him reset volume, that might be kryptonite for that style. Don't get me wrong, I'm a huge Leon Edwards fan. I'd love to see him knock Colby out. I'm a fan of both these guys. I just think stylistically, Colby Covington could be a horrible matchup for Leon Edwards, but it's an interesting fight and we shall see. And that one comes in at 9,561 to 1. So I've put £2.20 on that, with zero confidence, no confidence at all. But imagine if that came off. I'd be pretty happy. Post your bets in the comments. I like seeing people's parlays. I like seeing what people are betting on. Post your wins in there as well. I love seeing people's wins. If you had a close one, post that in there as well. I just like seeing it. I like talking about it. I like making these crazy bets. So as always, until next time, keep those odds long, keep the stakes low, and keep those bets terrible.